The feast of Lupercal was held on the 15th of February, and was used to celebrate my victory over Pompey. Morales and Flavius, two senators who supported Pompey, insulted the celebrators and tried to stop them enjoying themselves.
"You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things! Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel people of Rome! Didn't you know Pompey?"
I was at the races having a great time, and then a strange thing happened. A soothsayer stepped out of the crowd.
Beware the Ides of March.
I left the races in a complete state, and while I was away, Cassius attempted to turn Brutus against me. I told Antony that I didn't trust Cassius. I was right in my suspicion. Many of my supporters remained loyal to me, and Casca reminded Brutus that 3 times I had rejected the crown, and was not an ambitious man. Yet Cassius has a slick tongue, and he convinced Brutus to have a conversation with him later. And on the evening of March 14th, the eve of the Ides of March, there was a terrible storm, and as well as a terrible storm, there were men walking around on fire who were not burning. There were 100 ghastly women running the streets, and there was a lion loose and roaring. Casca believed that they were omens of great evil, while Cassius believed it meant that I should no longer be Caesar, and they decided that I must be stopped in my reign. There were drawn upon a heap 100 ghastly women, transformed with their fear, who swore they saw men all in fire walk up and down the streets.
On the morning of March 15th, the Ides of March, while it was still dark, Brutus was pacing in his garden. Cassius sent Brutus a letter. He left it unsigned, so it was anonymous, and pleaded with him to protect Rome from Caesar. Cassius and the other conspirators arrived at Brutus' house, and they organised how to kill me. Portia saw that Brutus was worried by this, but did not know what the problem was, and begged him to explain to her why he was so worried. "Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake and see thyself. Speak, strike, redress." On the same day my lady wife, Calpurnia, awoke from an awful dream, where she saw me as a statue bleeding, with all the others with their hands covered in blood. She begged me to stay home that day, but I did not give in. The reason why? Well, Decius arrived, and after hearing what Calpurnia said about her dream, he twisted the meaning so much that I believed that her dream foretold my good fortune and the good fortune of Rome. At that point, I agreed to leave with Decius to go to the Capitol. The other conspirators also arrived to make sure that I left to go to the Capitol building. Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Artemidorus, who supported me, heard of the conspiracy and wrote a letter to warn me. He waited outside the Capitol building for me to arrive. "Caesar, beware of Brutus. Take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca. Have an eye to Cinna. Trust not Trebonius. Mark well Metellus Cimber. Decius Brutus loves thee not. Thou hast wronged Caius Ligarius. There is but one mind in all these men, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou beest not immortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. The mighty gods defend thee." Portia was afraid for Brutus, so she sent Lucius to find out what was going on. Portia ran into the soothsayer who had warned me to beware the Ides of March. He also tells her of my danger, which worried Portia even more.
O Brutus, the heavens speed thee in thine enterprise.
Soothsayer and Artemidorus tried to stop me from going into the capital, but once I was in there, the conspirators all crowded around me, arguing about some silly case, and then they revealed their true characters and stabbed me to death. Mark Antony escaped, but Brutus, who was truly a noble man, encouraged the conspirators to leave